Now we welcome in Jahcelyn Hartfield to the NIL Minor Lounge. Your host, Andrew Miner, with the NIL Report. Jahcelyn, thank you so much for joining us, a basketball player at North Texas University. Jahcelyn, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing really well. Thank you so much for joining and completion of your season. Just wrapped up, and you had a pretty good year. But just for those that may not know you, could you just introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. Well, my name is Jahcelyn Hartfield. I attend the University of North Texas. I'm a redshirt freshman this year, sophomore classification in academics, but been playing basketball since the age of 3. Grateful to be at the university. Love the school, love my coaches, love my teammates, and love the record-breaking season we were able to have this year.
Awesome. Yeah. Can you go into a little bit more about the record-breaking season you had this year? What was it in particular that you guys broke again?
Of course. Well, first of all, this was one of the most winningest seasons we've had in women's history in North Texas. We went 23-9 this year. Last year, previously, we were 11-20. Didn't go into any postseason play this year. We were able to accomplish that. Made it to the new WBIT tournament. Broke some scoring records for the school. Our coach got Coach of the Year this year. And it was our first year in the American, so did a lot of things that many people didn't think we were going to be able to do. Also won conference, which was the highlight of the season as well. So it was a really great season for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congrats on all that. I'm sure that gives you a really exciting foundation to build upon in the near future here. So that's great. You mentioned you've been playing basketball since the age of 3, and you had a great high school career. What kind of what kind of makes you most passionate about the sport, about basketball? What do you feel most connected to it? When you're out there playing, just all throughout your life.
I think I would most definitely say my family, just being able to see them in the stands at every game, supporting me, whether I'm out there playing or not playing due to injuries. I think that's always something that's fueled me from a very young age, and just learning passion from my parents as well. We were basically taught to never give up on anything, and I've kind of just taken that with me to the game as well. So always just staying determined and focused, just to always accomplish any goals that I have for my sport.
Sure. And you say your family, who's that entail that's in the stands, supporting you, watching you on any given night?
My mom, my dad, my sisters, my nephew, just even church family as well. Friends come around, high school friends, old AAU teammates, just everybody who's ever been a part of my journey, they usually come out and support me.
That's so great. And you've had a very successful journey, and one that took a pretty severe twist in 2019. You were involved in an ATV accident that where you had to have surgeries on your hand, both your hands, and doctors told you that you might not be able to play basketball again. I was wondering if you could just kind of take us through what kind of happened, and then what the aftermath was on that.
Yes, so it was my summer going into my freshman year. And of course, I'm with all my friends, just doing kid things. And so we were on a ATV. I wasn't driving, of course, but I
Right.
was in the back. My friend took a sharp right turn. The ATV flipped out. I was eventually underneath the ATV as well. I don't really remember much in between, but that is what happened. I get out, my hand is huge. I'm bleeding out everywhere. Fast forward, I'm at the hospital. I find out that my left hand is completely broken, shattered, every bone in my left hand. My right hand, I had to get a skin graft. The skin, well, you can see right here, but basically all that was gone. So I had to get some skin taken from my thigh, put on there, a 10-hour surgery, about a 8.5-month recovery process. But I was able to say I did it. I made it out. I was able to play in my first high school game, and win and do basically everything that I dreamed of doing to come out of that. So It's a pretty unique story, but I'm glad I was able to go through it to prepare me for kind of some of the things that I've gone through in college, facing injuries as well, and also just being an advocate for kids who don't have that type of support.
Yeah, really incredible journey. So happy and relieved that you were able to overcome that. What was it like when doctors told you that you might not be able to play again, or that you might not have mobility in your hands? What what was going through your mind at that point? You
Oh
mentioned a lot of
man.
determination.
Yes, I just remember sitting in the hospital bed, and I kid you not, the whole time while I'm in the ambulance, like my pain was probably at a 2000, but the whole time I wasn't crying or anything. And I think that was the first time that I shed a tear. I looked at my mom and the doctors, and I just, at that point, you're trying to get recruited, you're trying to go D1 or whatever journey that you may take. And once I heard those words, I was like, I just looked at my mom like, what are we gonna do?
Mhm.
And having that feeling, it was definitely terrible, but knowing that's what they said, I think once again that was something that fueled me to be like, yeah, no, we're not going down without a fight. Like I'm gonna show everybody that I'm able to do this.
Definitely. And you mentioned 10-hour surgery to fix broken bones in both your hands. I think your left hand, you had, they put needles or stints in all your fingers.
Mhm.
You mentioned the skin graft. Well, going through the recovery process and kind of mentioning that determination of, just playing basketball again. What was like, I guess um, I guess with that experience like, but what was the most like impactful moment for you as you were, working to get back onto the court and really just, back to everyday life?
Mhm. I think the most impactful moment for me was just seeing the support that I had and realizing that everyone else believed in me. So there was no point where I couldn't believe in myself, so to say. So
Mhm.
even at school, the athletic trainers, my doctors are really the main ones who they knew what I wanted to do. And even if there were days where I didn't want to be in rehab, they were like, hey, we have to get this done, like whatever it takes to get you back out there. And my family as well, just coming home to them every day and them speaking nothing but great things in me. That was just the part of me that was like, hey, like if you don't believe in yourself, they do. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, at the end of the day, do it for the ones who always believe in you. And I think that was the most impactful part for me as well, because I think that was another life lesson I learned to take with me to college too, is, to always speak greatness in everybody that you run into, because if they don't want to do it, that might be able to help them in the long run.
Yeah. And you guys in high school advanced, you were the state 6A state runner-ups, and you got the scholarship to North Texas. What was, by the end of your high school journey, reflecting back, what kind of feelings did you feel, and maybe how did that, even grow your love for the game?
Just being able to make history for my high school team as well, going on a state run, that was really important to me, just to be around amazing girls, amazing coaches. Um, and it kind of took me into college, being looked at as a winner, just being able to do whatever it takes to win. And I think that's something that just helped me too, as soon as I stepped on the college campus.
Yeah, no, definitely. And moving off the court, your major is in sports psychology. One of the reasons was like that you had mentioned was to help other athletes that are going through similar or just their own injuries, their own adversity. What has that been like, in learning and studying, as you begin your journey there? What's that been like?
It's been really fun. We're also pretty big on sports psych at the University of North Texas, and just being able to be around them and see what they do for the team as well. It's always looked at as I really want to do this. So just being able to learn from them every day, and of course my professors. And when you're interested in something, it's a lot easier to learn and pick up on. So just
Sure.
being interested in that curriculum has helped me too.
what's the ultimate, what are some goals that you have in that field as you enter that field in the future? Like what do you envision yourself, maybe accomplishing?
Of course, I would always want to have my own practice, but if that doesn't work out, I was looking into going to the NBA to do some sports psych for those guys. Just being able to travel as well and basically living the whole basketball lifestyle over again, but just in a different limelight.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. And continuing off the court, you have you've been outspoken about really being wanting to be there for the community and helping serve the community. What what is that community at North Texas and even your high school like what kind of inspired and instilled that desire to want to maybe give back?
Um, being around my coaches as well, it was always, hey, like do the right thing, show the younger generation people to look up to. And that's always stuck with me as well. So, basketball for the women's side wasn't always huge. It wasn't always talked about like it is today. And we've kind of always had to work to build our own name, especially in the NIL spaces like today.
Yeah.
So and just giving back to the community has always been big for me because you have little girls or even little boys who look up to you and be like, oh, wow, I didn't know like that was possible. So just to be able to put your faces in places like that, it speaks value to who you are or what team you come from. And just being able to do that is really big.
Have there been any particular events or community service events that you've done that you've enjoyed the most?
Well, this year we went to paint some houses. So they were, just broken down houses that haven't really had any repairs on it or anything. And we were able to go out there as a team and just even our support staff too. We were all out there in the beaming hot sun, just working hard, painting some houses. And then you get to see the families, they come out and you just see the big smiles on their face and how grateful they are. And just seeing that impact that you made on someone else's life, it touches your heart a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's so great that you're able to do that as a team and kind of, give back in that manner. You mentioned NIL, and I know that one of your goals is to, give back to the community through NIL as well. But just broadly in general about the NIL space, of course, that's new for student athletes, and what have you learned about that? What have some of your experiences been with NIL and just kind of seeing it and being involved with it firsthand?
Mhm. I like to think that NIL has been pretty great for me. Coming from a mid-major, I wouldn't say we get all the same opportunities that the bigger schools have, especially if your name isn't out there or you're not as famous, quote unquote. So just being able to be at the University of North Texas and still find ways to create content or, have people reach out to you and be able to put your name in places and, hopefully eventually grow your just space for yourself. And for me, making content is fun, especially when I can involve my teammates and all of that too. And so now like they just always call me the content creator of the team. And it's just fun, especially being one of the first kind of student athletes classes to, kind of take on that NIL role and just to see it grow. And, we also have NIL classes here at North Texas, and we have people that really advocate for us to continue to help that grow at the mid-major level. So just being able to be one of those faces as well
Yep.
means a lot too.
That's awesome. What sort of classes, what sort of things are you learning, in those classes that North Texas provides, or or maybe the best thing that you've learned?
Pretty much just how to brand yourself and market yourself the correct way. How to look at contracts so you don't get taken advantage of all the time and, just not taking anything that comes to you, always making the right decision for your future and also following the NCAA regulations and guidelines because that's very important. But they make sure to stay on us about those types of things just so we can keep our name clear and, keep playing our sport, which is the end goal at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. What you mentioned you're kind of the content leader of the team, I guess. What sort of content do you love creating the most when you're, posting on your, Instagram stories or what have you?
Oh, I love to do day in the lives. Just showing other young kids what a day in the life for a college athlete looks like, or sometimes I've done a couple what I eat as a D1 college athlete. So kind of just showing what that looks like for the future.
Okay, yeah, kind of documenting the
Mhm.
journey and hopefully that's helpful to someone else that's in high school or um, someone younger that's trying to follow in your footsteps.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. What else about what else about yourself? What do you like to do? I mean, maybe for fun in your free time, off time. To maybe decompress from the the student athlete life, basketball life. What sort of hobbies are you into?
Well, the competitor in me loves to go bowling, playing some ping pong, anything competitive where I can put myself in a position to win with my friends or family, even playing card games. I love it. I've been really into roller skating since I was young, but I kind of picked it back up a little bit
Okay.
lately. I love roller skating, anything with music, dancing, singing, and most of all, importantly, just hanging out with my family, making good memories to laugh at.
Yeah, that's awesome. What thinking back to NIL, if there was one, kind of dream deal or, ideal deal that you could do in that space, like what would that be for you in your eyes?
Ooh, a dream deal. I think anything with a car brand like Mercedes, yes, or anything with like a Gatorade type Powerade body armor type deal. I think
Okay.
those would be my dream deals.
So you mentioned three different drinks there. Which one's your go-to or, drink of choice?
I like Powerade the most.
Really? Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's great. Okay. And, you know, um, just looking at my questions here. I wanted one more. Um, uh, yeah, I guess what advice would you have for other, athletes, younger athletes, to, come kind of keep going? I'm just curious what advice you have for them. Yeah.
A couple words of advice I would give is to never let anyone stop you from chasing what you dream for yourself. Um, just keep chasing no matter what. Don't ever stop. Don't ever give up. I know that's kind of cliche, but there will be people along your way that kind of try to deter you, whether injuries come or just life situations come or just you not knowing what you want for your future. But as long as you know internally, deep down, exactly how you envision your future going, I just personally feel like no one can ever stop you from achieving those goals as long as you persevere, have determination, and have the right people speaking great stuff into your ear.
Yeah, that's tremendous advice. Thank you so much. Jocelyn, where can everybody follow you? To see your day in the life stories and to follow your journey, on your socials.
I am on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. All of them are Jossie Hoops, JAHCIHOOPS_.
Awesome. Jocelyn, thank you so much for joining the NIL Minor Lounge. Really enjoyed having you on here today.
Of course, so happy to be here. Thank you so much.